Trying to tune to make the warbles go away.
Yeah, and the more professional bands would carry a pitchfork.
Right.
And they'll go backstage and they'll have at least one guitar with a pitchfork, the tuning fork, put it on the headstock.
Yeah.
And that's how you hear it, and that's how that's how you tune that guitar, and then everybody else tunes.
Right.
On stage, or if you can do it, backstage. The bass always was too low, and at that time I was still playing flat wound, so I wasn't getting good harmonics to tune with. I needed to hear through an amplifier.
So, just out of interest, when did you start using round strings?
Basically when I left Florida, because Florida Roto Sounds, which was the first one that we were exposed to, especially because of Chris Squire and John Entwistle, they didn't have major distribution in the United States. So Florida was kind of like one of the last places where Roto Sounds filtered their way down to. So it wasn't until I left Florida, like in the 70s, mid 70s, that I started playing Roto Sounds, because they were available. Like, let's say I was in Chicago or New York playing, then I could go to a store and get them there.
I remember when I first heard Roundabout, I thought it was a clavinet. I didn't even realize it was a bass guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that sound. Like Chris Squire definitely had his own thing. Did you ever hear his album Fish Out of Water?
Yes.
I love that album. I thought it was just brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how much he sounds like John Anderson, his voice.
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like incredible. Like it's no wonder the harmonies were so tight.
I also know the new bass player, Billy Sherwood. Billy, in his first bands, he got signed because he sounded like John Anderson singing. And then for projects, he had a band with Chris Squire.
Okay.
Yeah. So and Billy is the bass player that when Chris was in his deathbed, he told his family that he wanted Billy to take over. So he's definitely the only guy who could have come in and done that. Take over.
Yeah, it was sort of he got anointed.
Oh yeah. Big
Yeah.
time.
Which is nice. Yeah. So you were close to Chris?
Put it this way. It was crazy times. It was crazy. And by that, look, I was as close as we were living in the same building in West Hollywood. And he was my neighbor. And Chris was one of those guys that he could knock on your door 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, just wanting to party.
Yeah. Yeah, I know he spent some time in Vancouver. I've heard the stories.
And it was like, wow. After a few times, it just, you go like, oh no, this is not going to have a good ending.
Yeah.
But it's really a shame because, he's definitely one of my biggest heroes. We're just talking like really, but once, you start getting into the area of socializing, especially in LA, So, I didn't get to spend the quality time with him that I really wanted to. But nevertheless, the musical legacy that he left behind, is unparalleled.
Well, he changed the instrument.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Almost as much, like to me, McCartney is the guy that really brought the bass into the world, in a rock and roll genre. But Chris Squire then took it. It was like Chris Squire was like what Eddie Van Halen did after Jimi Hendrix to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
As far as,
but the real anomaly about McCartney is that he created all of that. And I'm a huge fan of Hofner. I have a Hofner. I have a relic, which is a reenactment of the way they're still built in the same place by the same people, with the same strings, pyramid strings, pyramid strings are very nearby the Hofner factory,
Right.
But if you look at what everybody else was playing, and you look at what McCartney made history with, it's a very unique instrument.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Check out our other vignettes and full episodes from a wide variety of guests for more great content. Please like, share, and subscribe, and become a member at SocialNRGPresents.com to access premium content and earn valuable energy points just for watching.